Before our self-proclaimed Sabbath day could really begin, I had to get my tires sorted. Fortunately, there are loads of tire shops in town. The Grand Tire Pros hammered out my Steely for free. Because Canadian shops would have found a way to charge me $600 for this, I gave the tech a $100 tip and called it a day.
Wait.
So today we're doing the tourist thing. No jeeping.
Pancakes.
Right? Tourists.
Then we need like fanny packs and like those cameras that you can use a few times that you throw you away. And then the hats and the sunglasses. I don't know how else tourists act.
You making fun of old people?
Oh yeah. You have to be like at least over 60 to be a real tourist.
First off, we did some shopping. And not for any of those stupid ducks.
Hold it.
Next, it was off to Arches once again.
As you can see, the upper half is two bum cheeks, and then there's a little butthole in the middle. And then over here, I have a fine looking penis. End of my story.
So this amazing place has been reduced to a pair of ass cheeks and a wiener, according to Dubenstein. Regardless of what he has reduced this place to, I can't think of a better place to spend a non-trail day than Arches National Park. I didn't have the heart to suggest that we try out one of the mild off-road trails that do actually run through this park. Instead, we took a nice leisurely hike through the Devil's Garden.
Slow-mo running right as you go by.
Joke's on them. I film everything at 120 frames per second. It's pretty crucial to take a day of rest in the middle of your Moab trip. After our day off, we were refreshed and set for another trail day tomorrow.
It's been really awesome. Until you actually see it in person, you have no idea. I could stick with the easy trails, but the first one we ran was a little bit beyond my capabilities of a passenger princess.
Even though Michael may have ended up driving 4,500 kilometers to do exactly one trail, he was still in awe.
You gotta come and try it. I watched a million videos and thought I kind of knew what was going to happen, and I did not know what was going to happen. It was totally figuring it out on the go. That I was not prepared as I thought I would be. I wanted to like flex it all out when we were at home before we left, and made sure nothing was rubbing or catching, and I would have caught all those little tiny problems, and I didn't. I was just like, we'll be okay. And then, no.
Minor setbacks.
More mechanical problems for our little group.
Black to red and red to black, right?
Yeah.
As we would discover later on, Danny's battery took an absolute pounding on the Trifecta run. The brace holding it in place has caved it in, and it no longer has the capacity to hold a charge overnight. But with no time to waste, we just gave it a boost and we were off, early, to try to avoid the higher temperatures. Let's not forget, Danny doesn't have AC, and we're from Berta, eh?
Second last day. Happy? Tired. We're out. So today we are heading over to Top of the World. I'm going to change things up a little bit from last year. We are going to take Rose Garden Hill on the way down and hit up Onion Creek on the way out.
Last year's trip to the Top of the World was an unforgettable experience. Not because of the trail, not even because of the views, but rather the crazy weather. This year, the weather looks perfect. So right out of the gate, this trip looks to be a whole lot less dramatic. With the exception that we're down a rig.
You're like arguing at me, straighten your wheels. I'm like, dude, the steering wheel's straight. So if the wheels aren't straight, we got a problem. I got some squeaking and some things going on.
just like it was on Trifecta, it would be just 2 Jeeps. Given that this is a relatively tame trail, we should be able to avoid more mechanical failures. But this is an off-road trail, and when Jeeps are involved, anything can happen.
Top of the world. One of Moab's most spectacular and annoying trails.
I could be a bit off on this, but when compared to last year's run up the same trail, it seems more challenging this year.
Picked the wrong line. I tried to go straight up the ledge. First unlocked, no dice. Rear locker, no dice. Front locker, no dice. Back right off. Turned all lockers off. Went a couple feet to the side, no lockers, no problem.
We are now at top of the world's only real obstacle. Although I feel the trail's gotten a bit rougher than last year. Who knows, maybe in 5 or 10 years this will be the new Pritchett Canyon run. You never know.
While we were without Michael's rig, we were not without Michael. Today he was the passenger princess.
You know what? It's easy on the body. I'll give you that. It's not very rewarding, though. Not very fulfilling. Just kind of like a tea bag, just getting bobbed around, not doing anything. The first thing I'm doing, though, is buying those damn Falcon shocks, because I cannot get over the difference. Like, even just the easy part coming up here, I'd have been sloshing and banging and slammed all around, and this thing is just like, yeah. Minute I get back home, pay off this trip, and then buying the shocks. It's first thing. Have good shocks when you come out here. It's a must.
Danny and I are both rocking the Falcon 3.3s. On trails like the ones here in Moab, between the adjustability and the increased down travel, they are a huge advantage. As are lockers.
I have faith. You don't need no stinking lockers. How's the arm feeling?
Not too bad. The rest of me is hot as balls, though.
It's a long, monotonous trail towards the summit. Between that and the lack of AC in pretty hot conditions, I think that Danny and Michael were starting to lose it just a little bit.
I wish I could do a Richard Attenborough impersonation. Behold the majestic Jeep in its natural habitat. I'm recording us being recorded.
Precious. Precious.
French. Oh, treat. Don't want to get Michael bitch slapped. Gotta get enough of that at home.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I have no idea how far ahead you can go.
Well, this isn't my favorite trail in the world. The view at the top makes it totally worth it. For a bunch of hicks from Berta, views like this don't come around too often.
pretty much vibrating right now. Like honestly, I got the shivers just after seeing so many different shots of this and videos, just online, pictures, forums, everything. Finally got to get them of my rig. So pretty cool, pretty excited. Definitely the highlight of the trip so far.
This is incredible. Like, I've been fortunate to be in some very magnificent places in my life, you know, all through the Rocky Mountains and everything like that. I've never seen anything like this. This is unbelievable.
Michael's right. It's hard to duplicate a view like this. Farnham, Hailstorm, Rico do come to mind as the only Canadian trails that could be compared to this one. Things went a bit sideways on the way down. My phone, very unexpectedly, sprang to life.
Okay, I didn't know you were gone. Okay, we'll talk again then.
Okay, bye.
Whereabouts in Utah are you?
Moab?
No, don't know where that is. Okay, that's fine.
You ever heard of Arches National Park?
Yes, I've heard of that.
Yeah,
yes,
there.
Okay, well, be careful that you don't fall and break a leg or something like that.
Not walking, I'm driving.
Oh, you're just with the car, okay.
It's not a car, it's a Jeep.
Oh, it's a Jeep, okay. Okay, well, I'll let you go then and have a good time then.
All right, bye.
You can call me when you get back then.
Okay, that'll be next week.
Yeah, okay, bye-bye.
See ya. Can't even on the side of a mountain, I can't escape my mother.
It's a Jeep, not a car.
Well, it's not a car.
She's old and
Matters not. It's bad enough that they call it a freaking minivan on my registration. No, it's a station wagon. It's registered as a station wagon. Does it look like a freaking station wagon?
Crisis over, and I was slowly untriggering myself. Car. Pfft. It's a Jeep, not a car. Even though we were on the much easier counterclockwise route, mechanical issues might be rearing their ugly head yet again. The Dubenstein rig has been making some really weird sounds, most of which were coming from a spring that had popped out of its lower perch a few days ago on Hell's Revenge. But now, there was a new noise. And the heat of the day was really starting to take its toll on Danny and Michael.
My floor is so hot, I can't even put my bare feet on it.
Yeah, your transmission tunnel is cooking.
As it turns out, I was having a tiny issue of my own. A proprietary bolt had backed out of my Synergy track bar stud. Since the stabilizer's not really needed with my big bore steering box, I removed it altogether for the rest of the trip. Oh, speaking of steering stabilizers, they do not fix death wobble. Sorry, tangent, had to be said. The smoothness of this road was a much needed break from the constant back and forth rocking of the Top of the World trail.
Is that rattle getting worse or staying about the same?
It's the same. I'm almost sure it's a mount on the exhaust or heat shield or something.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
So yeah, I have no idea what this trail is like. My understanding is it's pretty easy to the hill and then after the hill, but the hill itself is kind of like what we did on the backside of Hell's.
Okay. So it might be just a bit more aggressive than that. But after the trifecta, Danny and I were up for anything. Or so I thought. More issues with Dubenstein's four-wheel drive. It refused to shift into 4-low. Frustrated with his transfer case, and with early onset of heat exhaustion, Danny's day was done. We started with 3 Jeeps, and now mine was the last one standing.
The thing about these trails is they really test your rig. You know, we're a little bit spoiled in Canada. We got pretty easy shit. When you come down here, every tiny little weak spot is exploited. It's a little disappointing, but it's better to be safe than to try to do a difficult descent with no four-wheel drive.
Looks like Ray and I will be doing the last 2 trails solo.
Well, I shouldn't say again, we never actually finished it because I had a thermostat issue. But that's now resolved. It's like 34 Celsius, I don't know, it's like 90 something Fahrenheit, and I got the AC on and we're below half, so all good. When you are wheeling, it's probably not the worst idea in the world to have a spare thermostat with you, because it is actually a really quick fix. You know, we did it inside a half an hour. But yeah, we got it all fixed. We're back on Chicken Corners. Unfortunately, we're doing it solo. My crew's headed back to Canada, eh? They broke, eh?
Right on.
Right on, eh? How's she going, eh?
I can't speak like a
You can't do Canadian?
I can't. I can do America.
Land of guns and freedom.
Heck yeah. Tractors and cowboys.
Straightening the curves, flattening them hills.
Well, I mean, the last thing I want to do is flatten any of these hills. It's what makes this trail one of the most spectacular Moab trails I may ever go on. The climb up to Hurrah Pass was easy, but nothing could possibly prepare us for what lie on the other side of the summit.
They chew you up and spit you out. You're left for dead. With the wink of an eye. No remorse, no regret. No one ever taught you how to play this game. Heed the warnings, read the signs, and lay your money down. 2 for 1, 1 for nothing. Once that jackpot hit the ground, hit the ground.
This has been a really, really cool trail. Hurrah Pass is just hurrah! It was awesome. And this trail, like the rest of the way to Chicken Corners, is pretty cool because it kind of follows the route of the Colorado River as it makes its way into southern Utah, Nevada, Arizona. It's a very, very cool trail.
After a couple hours, we arrived at the reason this trail is called Chicken Corners. This name comes from a particularly narrow and exposed section of the trail where early travelers, and even some today, might chicken out due to the height of the drop-off.
I can really see why they call this Chicken Corners. I mean, if you got a thing with heights like I do, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. anyways, we made it with just enough light for all the cameras and stuff. And it's a beautiful sunset. We've got, probably a couple hours worth of drive out. So we should be getting some pretty amazing starscapes. At least that's my hope. But Chicken Corners is a 2-wheel drive run, but man, is it worth it. It is absolutely beautiful.
We started our run to Chicken Corners with a desert that was set ablaze by a fiery sunset. As we finished our run under the cover of darkness, a magnificent canopy of stars unfolded above us, turning an already unforgettable journey into something truly remarkable. After the Trifecta trail, I was set to pack up and go home. But after this run, I'm sad that tomorrow is our last day here in Moab, and we had just one trail left to run.
Well, it's our last day in Moab for 2025, and I guess it's kind of become a tradition of ours. I mean, tradition, we've only been here once. It's now the second time, but we're calling it a tradition. Last day, 7-mile rim. You ready for a nice Sunday drive through the desert?
It's Friday.
While it isn't a technical trail, and it really won't be a workout for my suspension in any way, this is still a stunning trail.
So I'm pretty sure this is one of my favorite spots in the world. I mean, these little buttes are amazing. Just love it here. Super, super cool. It's not a difficult trail at all. I mean, there's a couple obstacles we took just for fun, but it's actually pretty easy. But I just can't think of a better way to finish up a trip in Moab, or a trip to Moab rather, with such prototypical or quintessential landmarks. It's just awesome.
I'm sure many will debate this, but for me, if there is one trail that truly defines a Moab trail, 7-Mile Rim is the one. There's just something about this trail that has a hold of me, a soul tie, if you will. As awe-inspiring as the Trifecta was, I have to admit, the 7-Mile Rim is still my favorite trail here. I only wish I could have shared it with my friends. As the guide of this little adventure, it was one of the things I was really looking forward to. But at the end of the day, I'm just glad they had fun on the trails they did do.
Love it, love it, love it. Would come every year if I could.
I can just imagine what their reactions to these epic vistas would have been.
Looking back, thinking back over the week, I'm old, immature, but smart enough or old enough to realize, to know you have to live life to the fullest and don't think about things too much. If you want to do something, just do it. Get it done and over with. That's what made me come out here, that thinking. And it's been a crazy, awesome experience. I could see myself retiring here. Honestly, I'd rather come here than Alberta any day. I haven't been to the US for 20 years. Back then, people were as friendly as I can remember. And coming back this first time this week, I swear Americans are even more friendly than Canadians back home. Every single person I met here has been awesome and great, friendly.
It's a good thing I'm not mainstream media, otherwise I'd edit that out.
Yeah. Awesome to share this experience with you.
You too.
And you too there, I suppose.
Yeah, I know. Are we gonna walkie it back?
I savored these last few moments on this final Moab trail for the year. Looking back, and even with the minor mechanical issues, this is a very rewarding trip. 5 trails in 5 days, including Hell's Gate and the infamous Trifecta. I have done a lot of trails in my 2 trips here, but I'm far from done with Moab. As I look at my final sunset for this trip, I knew this would not be my final adventure in this amazing place. But Colorado's Alpine Loop is certainly an interesting destination for 2026. You'll just have to stay tuned to find out what's next.